Okay, I had some audio issues that I think are now resolved. And with that, I'm going to start making some pie crust. So as I said in the description, I'm going to fully blind bake a pie crust here. I probably won't bake it now. I have to be somewhere at 11 o'clock and I cannot be late, but I can at least get the dough prepared. So I already measured out this, so right here, that's just 2.5 cups of flour and some sea salt. I am so prepared, you guys. Wait till you see this. And wait till you see what I found. So there I have cold butter cubed. And then this is organic vegetable shortening. And let me tell you, that was not easy to find, nor was it inexpensive. We'll just say that. But dough cutter is the best thing for this because you don't want it to be overly mixed, just kind of barely, and you really do want this stuff as cold as possible. All these things, I'm like, yeah, that's not really true. You can just do whatever you want, and then you learn the hard way that, no, they say that stuff for a reason. Whoop. I had a Vietnamese lesson this morning, early, which was awesome. Feeling a little bit more confident each day, but when I say more confident, I mean not confident at all, because it is super, super difficult. It's all tonal, which is no pun intended, but it's completely foreign to the Western ear. This is going to sound like a completely random diatribe on my part, but I'm finding with increasing regularity, the number of people who, not just confused necessarily, but they genuinely seem angry at the fact that I have chosen to not re-enter the corporate work world. And a lot of people are just like, oh, good for you, you're doing good stuff. Sure, you're not making any money, but, good for you. But then there are other people that are just like livid, almost like they think I'm just on vacation but that's a lesson you can't necessarily base your life or your actions or your plans on what other people think are the appropriate, conditions to live your life under, because many of those people, it's just a matter of their own, inability to do things with their lives that they maybe wish they could do. And some of them, it kind of causes them a bit of dismay, I guess. All right, I just need a spatula. But it's the strangest thing. Like, I'm going to be going over all of this, at some point. I keep saying that, but I really am. But, I think that, like, some of the things that people have said and, certainly done, if you've been following along. But there are quite a few people out there who just, the thought of somebody defying convention is just more than they can handle, and it makes them crazy. Somebody's got to do it, right? We can't all be the same. I'm tired of pretending, I guess that's what it is. I hope the sound is working this time. I think I figured out what I was doing wrong on one of the other setups, and hopefully it's not doing that same thing now. Okay. So you see, just super loosely mixed. Now I'm going to get some ice cold water. Oh, I forgot I put that other camera up there. Oh, I'm so dumb. It's right here. I was like, I know I have another mixing cup. Measuring cup, not a mixing cup. All right, so this is just ice water. All right, and then this, just a couple spoonfuls at a time, and then mix it up. When I first started doing this, I was like, that doesn't make sense. Why can't I do it this way? And then lots and lots of questionable results, and I was like, oh, there's actually a reason behind some of this stuff, especially the temperature related things. So this one is going to be used for the very first recipe that I ever did, which was Pie Day of this year, believe it or not. And we're going to see how my skills have progressed here. So it's a coconut cream pie that I did for work. That's how this all started. And we're going to see if everything I've learned over the past year will affect the results. I got to keep an eye on the time here. The nice thing about this is that you really do want your dough to be cold. So putting it in the fridge, going to do my volunteer event, not the end of the world. But being there on time is absolutely paramount. And you want it so that it's just not powdery. Like no more water than that. Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna get this in the oven in time, but what I can do is get a nice big lump of pie dough here. Pastry dough, I should say. Then I have some business matters to attend to this afternoon. Getting more stuff ready for an attorney. Doing some stuff for a realtor. I don't know. I'm gonna just take a smidge more. And why would I go and get new water when I've got a little here? I got a whole lot here. See how it's already like kind of getting flaky? And not flaky like Nick Reed not showing up for something. I mean flaky like this should really add to it. When I did it the first time for Pie Day, I got store-bought dough and I just kind of rolled it out. But now I really do like doing as much as I can by scratch. Okay. Little bit of extra water there, that's not gonna hurt. Now here's a funny thing. You guys know that I do a lot of stuff when it comes to dietary restrictions and all that. Well, I was so excited to swap out my containers because I like to wash them and do all that stuff. And they were all labeled. And the problem that I ran into is that I think this is all normal flour. I have 2 containers here. But there's a possibility, a very small possibility, that part of this could be gluten-free. So I'm like, well, I suppose, whoops, sorry about that. I suppose it's not so bad if, it could affect the recipe, but not so bad if people who don't have any restrictions eat a little gluten-free flour versus the other way around. That could be a big problem. I have a strange feeling it's about to get very noisy in here, and you'll see what I mean in just a sec. This is another one where you don't want it to be overly mixed, overly kneaded, because part of the appeal is that it is super flaky. We want the fats in the flour to all be nicely combined. Fats, I just mean butter and shortening. Okay. Just gonna roll this into a nice ball. I should have made a couple of these while I was at, oh well. After this next thing, I've got to break for another hour or 2, so we'll do it then. But I just looked in the fridge. I only have 2 eggs. Can you believe that? Do you think 2 eggs is going to work for coconut cream pie? I think not. So I have to go to the store and get some more eggs. Everything else, I am loaded for bear. There'll be more on that later too. Preparedness. Perhaps that'll help to solve some of the mystery of why I didn't go out and go to XYZ Bank. You know, you can insert any bank name there immediately after I got fired, but look at that. Tell me that isn't just a beautiful little dough ball. And then what I'll do when I have time in a little while, we'll come back and we'll blind bake this. That just means that I'm going to be baking the pie crust without anything else. And then comes the rest, because with this type of pie, it's like everything kind of gets made on its own, and then it gets assembled, and then once you're all done, then you put it together and you let it set up in the fridge. All right, now just take plastic wrap. This is like a nightmare. Don't have the box and the cutty thing. Oh, you know what? Here's a cutting thing right here. There you have it. All ready to go. Well, no. What am I talking about? All ready to go in the oven. What I'm going to do is we have to roll this out, but you only do that when it's super cold. Again. Okay, well, I think that's probably a good place for me to stop this. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back to roll out the pie dough as soon as I'm finished with my other things. Okay, bye.